Here we go. What's up, everybody? You've got Greybro A.K.A. Disciple 3D, A.K.A. your good buddy Brent Bowers, here in the studio this Sunday, unencumbered by family and friends because they're out doing other stuff, which I probably should be too. But as I have this undisturbed day, I think I've decided what I want to do is just kind of work on a variety of different things, including doing some shopping at Daz, maybe making a entry for the PC Club, and working on a couple of different products that I have in flow right now. If you can take some entertainment from this or some learning from it, that would be cool. If not, that's cool too. But anyway, that is kind of the thought process for today. And by the way, I realized that I'm using studio mode on OBS, and all that little gesturing that I just did, you didn't see any of it. But that's the great thing about OBS. It is always on the fly. So I'm just going to switch over to desktop so you can actually see my desktop view. Um, let's see here. Yes, I'm going to minimize this, and we'll do a little bit of, I'll show you some stuff I got yesterday, and I'm actually just about to set it up. And I noticed a very common problem that I have. So I purchased this awesome looking Temple Cave product. I want to give proper credit here. From Andrei Pastryakov. I don't know, I'm not saying that right, but I love his stuff. I've been a fan of it and purchased a bunch of it for a long time. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, good price, good looking product, gonna get it. Then I pop into that studio and see this right here. Now this is probably a very common problem with Connect, especially on release day for certain products. You'll see something like this. Instead of getting the actual thumbnail for the product, you'll get this mess right here. Okay, so to me, what I think this is, I believe load sharing is kind of screwed up. So when Daz distributes their products through Connect, I guess that it's over the Amazon servers. And sometimes, based on where you are in the country, I think that there's load sharing issues that make it think that it writes the file into your data folder, and it doesn't actually get it all in there, even though it'll get part of it. You'll see broken thumbnails and things of this nature. But let's see. There's a workaround, and I want to show you guys that. So let's go install and see what happens here. And just double checking that I am in fact streaming. I am streaming. We'll switch over to Dash Studio only mode so you can watch this part. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of watch, and it's done installed. So let's go to the install. Now sometimes you'll have broken thumbnails and it will actually work, but my guess is this is not going to work. So click on, oh, an error occurred while reading the file. Okay, how do we fix this? Okay, first things first, we want to right click, we want to go browse to file location. Now, a couple of things you could try to do. So you go back to this number right here. It's Temple Cave, the artist name, environments, and then this number. You go back to this number. Now you could grab everything there and delete it, okay? And then try reinstalling it. And sometimes that'll actually do the trick. But really, right now, we want this path right here. So we're going to copy this. Then we're going to go into, now, to be clear, I have actually used this method sometimes, and it didn't work this way either. In which case, I open a trouble ticket, and I'm sorry to say that, you know, you might wait 15 days, or you might wait an eternity and never get an answer. So it concerns me that it says one of two. So right off the bat, I do not have them both. Let me do that. Okay, so we need both files. So here we go. All right, so one of two. We're going to open this up. Go inside content, and this is the part that you want to extract to that path that we just copied. So there we go. We'll see that it's already written, but those are corrupt files, so we're going to overwrite all that. I'm going to look like a huge schmuck if this doesn't work. Don't you just love that word? Ever since I saw American Werewolf in London, I love that word, schmuck. Because apparently a reanimated skeleton that had no lips was saying it, and I always found that super amusing. Schmuck is impossible to say without lips. But I digress. Okay, so we have unzipped both of those, into that folder. I'm just going to hit refresh. Now, you probably will not see, let's see here. I can't refresh it. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Right click. Okay. So I see some of the thumbnails are here. That tells me that it probably actually worked. So we're just going to go back to this folder. I'm going to double click this, and what do you know? Product actually loads. So 9 times out of 10, this will work unless there's an error actually in the install files, which can happen. I've recently encountered that as well. But anyway, so that's sort of like the workaround when you have these broken products in Connect. And I really love Connect. I have not switched over to Daz Central and do not plan to for some time. It's a good looking product, you know. Very easy to play with, and I could definitely see myself. In fact, there is a story of mine that I made a comic of called Sins of the Old Father, and it's an ancient vampire in the city wreaking havoc, and this, you know, vampire hunter who has special powers sort of goes after him, and where she finds him is in a subway where it like connects with an ancient underground castle. And I always had to use like an upfitted poser product that I had converted to iRay, and it never looked as good as this. So this is exciting because I always wanted to revisit that story using iRay. By the way, if you want to see that, I believe it is in my Daz gallery, and I know that it's available on Renderosity. Let's see here. If I go to renderosity.com and I go to my gallery, I believe that I'm just checking this, and if I can find it, I'm going to share the screen. So stand by, un momento, por favor. So if I go to my gallery, so let me switch over so you guys can see what I'm doing. Desktop. Okay. So this is Renderosity. On my gallery, I believe I have the sequential story. This is a different comic. You'll see a bunch of this on my gallery, which is, by the way, Greybro at Renderosity. But I think I have it here, and there's another place I know that I have it online. Gosh. So anyway, back to the concept of today's stream. A day in the life, me messing around with Poser, working on some products, doing stuff that I would normally do if I was unencumbered for a day. So it's 9:41 a.m. right now on 9/6/2020, and I should have the space to myself here in the studio until about 4 p.m. at least. Now, of course, I won't stream live that whole time. I will do this in parts and probably take a break or whatever, since I know you guys don't want to listen to me munch on food or whatever, what have you. Just going to the old vast gallery here. I know it's here. I know it's here. Okay, we're getting into some of my comic stuff right here, and there we go. So yeah, if you go to my gallery and you search for s.o.m:, that's going to probably give you all these, and then you can kind of go back until you get to the first one and sequentially watch the whole thing like a comic, right? Like, so there you go. But if you want to actually read it like a comic, I think, let's see here. Midnight. I called this a different thing when I put it on my webcomics. Midnight. All right, Permanent Midnight. That's what it is. Permanent Midnight Respawner. Okay, Permanent Midnight. I misspelled permanent there, but let's see. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, so we go to first. So here we go. I've highlighted this, so it's permanentmidnight.com/comics/1, and that would put you on the first story from this. I was going to do a series, and this is me playing with Daz Studio, but like my rendering skills and compositional skills have come a long way. So I'm kind of wanting to revisit not exactly this tale, but this a similar story based on the same character. And interesting thing about me, I lived in Japan for almost 2 years, and so I speak Japanese. and you'll see there's actually some Japanese text. I used really common stuff from phrase bookology, sort of, so that you could probably understand more or less what she's saying from the context. So I did not like translate it, but yeah. So "Hai wakarimasu." Yes, I understand. And so she's speaking English, and it kind of gives you the context and whatnot. But actually, interesting true story. This character is called Alexa, aka the Respawner, and I actually made a live action film, which is available on my Vimeo. Let's do a search for my films, and also my YouTube. Let's see, I want to search my videos. How do I do that? Videos. Here we go. And I have a bunch of them, guys. Not so frustrated filmmaker. I've made a bunch of films. Okay, the original Respawner test film and Respawner. I'm going to put a little link up here in case you want to watch this. If you should type in this to your web browser, vimeo.com/110896448. This is the first thing that I wrote and directed. It's supposed to be a web series. So it's intended as a kind of a microcosm for a larger story. So you sort of jump in inflow and things happen, but it's basically about this demonic possessed police officer slash anti-hero, and there are some hardcore special effects in this. I'll just leave it at that. You might not want to watch it right after eating if you're squeamish. So, FYI, up to you. Up to you. Okay, so jumping back to Daz, I wanted to do some shopping today because I definitely enjoy doing the, and I hope you guys do this too, because as artists, it's important to not get too caught up in creating products all the time, because you sort of get away from the fun of the hobby, and then why are you even doing it, right? Like, the money is getting to the point where it's okay now, but for many, many, many years, I labored under the idea that I was going to be a content producer, and really just didn't even, I spent more than I made. So what I do periodically is I'll try to go to these Platinum Club members only contests, and they have, I think, 2 or 3 a month, and they're pretty cool. I mean, it's just like a $5 prize, and really it's not exactly always the best render wins, because I think once you've won it, your chances of winning it, in my experience, are really low. But still, it's just about the fun, and they'll give you a concept and a couple of items you have to use, and then you basically just let your imagination run wild and create. So, like, for example, this is the current contest, and so it's kind of designed to sell PC content, which is fine because that's always a great deal. But they'll give you okay, so I haven't made one for this yet. So here are the options for so Good and Evil for Universal Dress. I actually wound up picking that up, and I used it for a promo. So I already have in fact, why don't I just post this? So let's do this. I'm pretty sure I already have one. But anyway, you can use these cinema projection. You can enter as many times as you want. Just got to use one of these items and mention which item you used. Simply grass. This right here. So I have a couple of things actually that would work for this. One that I really like was a promo that I created for a product that I recently sold to Daz, actually. Let me see. Okay, do I have it here? Yes. Here we go. So elephant promo. This turned out looking really good. And now this is a little bit of cheating the concept because you're really supposed to make something new, and I'm going to do that right now. But you see, I already used the grass product here to kind of enhance this and make it look a little better. So what I want to do is use this once again. I'm going to check the. Let me switch this back to Daz Studio only so we can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Simply grass the rough stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. That's a qualifying item. And I'm going to type in simply. Hopefully I've already installed this because it's free. I try to get all the free stuff. Okay, yeah, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a couple of tufts of this stuff. And there we go. Now, technically, I could just re-render it now, and I would be, you know, meeting the requirement. So I don't love the color of that. Let's see what we got here. If I can get it a little bit more like the green stuff. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Let's duplicate some of that. Duplicate node. Let's see if that got it done or if I needed to do node hierarchies. There we go. Yeah, it looks okay. In fact, I think I could probably just get rid of the earlier grass and kind of make it more with this grass because it does look a little bit better. Yeah. And I'm going to just duplicate that one more time. Well, didn't duplicate what I wanted to duplicate. I had the wrong thing selected. Duplicate, no, there we go. Get rhythm. There we go. Okay, so I always like to do the longer renders when I'm doing contest entries. They just give a little bit more space to kind of see what you're doing. And then I have a bit of a convention that I follow when I save my contest. Platinum contest, that's good enough. And we'll just name it 906. Alright. We want that to probably go JPEG. PNG's fine, whatever. So this one's practically ready. Just close that and we'll let this render while we do whatever else we're going to do. Render. Okay. Play a little bit of music while this works, and I'll be right back talking to you here in a second. Man, that music is nice, huh? Just realized that, let's see, we're on desktop now. Just kind of have to keep it where you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, contest. Just realized I can watch my stream on the big screen, which is kind of freaking cool. I need to do that. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Search. What? Does Apple 3D pop right up? I didn't know that it would see that I'm related to that channel. That's cool. Oh, hey, I'm live. What do you know? That's cool. That is extremely cool, man. So it's like the camera is on me, but if I turn it, you can see my big stream over here. I'm just waiting to kind of see what it looks like. What? Crazy. Sorry. I'm just geeking out a little bit on you. Geek stuff, you know, geek stuff. I can get a quicker view here. See how that's relating to where I'm actually at. I don't want you seeing the edge here. That's disgusting. Freaking edge of the screen. Anywho, it's all good. Just keeps me clear on what's what, you know. So there we go. All right, so looking into Photoshop here, checking some stuff out. So this image was originally made to highlight the HDRI, which was, you know, recently sold to Daz. It'll be coming out soon, I would imagine. I'm not quite sure why the grass is not going over the feet, but we're gonna suss that out directly. So I guess it is, but I don't know. You know, we need to. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the first issue. So maybe if I bring this one up a little, it looks like this foot's being erased too, which is that's what's happened. Yeah, so that's fine. That's actually not super inaccurate because that one's covered. So yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot needs to be done to this. We could kind of experiment and see what a few color tweaks do to it. Auto-tone, and I think I like it better green. So one of the things I always do is render in at least 4K and then size it down to 2K at least. And give it some sort of creative name so you can upload it to what are we going to call it? Contest. We need a contest folder. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. Yes. All right. Refresh. Really? I don't think that name took. Sort by name. It did not. Let's rename this. Contests. Put it in here. Still going to call that. Okay, so we will now let that save out. Looking at this on the large screen TV, man, it looks super realistic. It looks pretty good on the computer screen too. So that's saved out in the right size. We just kill this original now. I'm going to switch back to desktop so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to pop out to DeviantArt, which is where I try when I want to share something in a gallery, a large version. I like to go with good old DeviantArt. Okay. What? Did I not save this in the right place? Image size. I guess not. Easy to do again, though. That's really weird. Oh, I know what the problem is. I accidentally did make 2 folders. That was not my intent. Contest. There we go, contests. You know, I like to give my, since it's DeviantArt, there's a lot of fantasy stuff on there. I like to give my images like some sort of name that would entice people to look at them. So let's call this Ancient Guardian. There we go. Oh shit, I amused myself. Because I'm easily amused. I always go back in, set it to original so that you can show it larger if you want to. And so, you know, there's that image, right? Like, so I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go open image in new tab. I'm going to copy this. Okay, copy. Then we're going to go to PC Club. So I used Simply Grass, the rough stuff. Right. So we're just going to go down here and title Ancient Guardian used Simply Grass, the rough stuff. We'll go ahead and give this a little bit of formatting. Actually, really, I should be doing it this way. Boom. Boom. All right. Now, I could have just attached it and then, you know, pulled up the image and copied the link from there, but I think that's a good one, and I want to save it for my DeviantArt Guardian. Okay, cool. Always, 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 if you don't do this, they'll jump on you. You have to limit the width to 800 when you post in these forums. Okay, Ancient Guardian, okay. And then one thing I like to do is just hot link the product that I use because, doggone it. Control C. It's just polite. There we go. No, that's not the one. Ha ha ha. Dang it, what was I doing? Talking to you, I wasn't paying attention. Simply Grass, the rough stuff. Okay, cool. So that's one entry. And I actually have another promo that I built out that would work for another entry. And you know, it's just about sharing and taking part and whatnot. It's not really a expectation of winning this, although I have put a lot of work into some of these. Okay, so post comment, boom. All right, so let's see if I can find another. I'm going to save this scene. And so there's another product which you're going to see me mess with here in a little bit. Let's see here. This would be for Greybro Egypt. It's not called Greybro Egypt. That was just my working title. And I have a weird angel promo. No, that's not it. Mesa promo, individual promo, Egyptian collection, Egyptian items. Dope angel. Shoot. I guess I'm just going to have to go through some of these individual. Make sure I don't have another folder. Nope, but no scenes in there. I think this might be the second one. Let's look. Bear with me here. I'm loading it. That's why you're not seeing anything right here. It's definitely loading an asset. Just taking a hot minute. While that's going on, supposed to have the Reginator with me today, but he apparently stayed up all night last night. Okay. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Man, it's taking forever to load that. So sorry. So sorry. Let's listen to some music while we wait. Sadly, that is not what we wanted. So there's another promo that I've done. Let me see if I can load it. It may take a long time, although that one did turn out great. Collection. Just having to guess. I should have used a more descriptive name right there. But there's one that I've already done, and I can redo it actually if I need to, because it is a character wearing the good and evil dress. You know what, if I can't find it here this next time, I'm just going to rebuild a scene, and it can double up as a promo, in fact. I do have the promo, but I wanted to make something original for this. The promo would definitely meet the requirements to be an entry into contest, but, you know, it's all about, like, you know, expanding our minds and letting our creativity take us places. It's kind of the whole point of this hobby. I just lament that you have to wait so long to see this. Sorry. Not the right one. Okay, so as promised, we're just going to rebuild this from scratch. Okay, so let's sure does take Daz a while to delete objects. I'm not a big fan of how long that takes. You know, one would think just hit the reset button. It's gotta go fast, right? feel like I need to point out that I'm waiting for Daz to accept a keyframe, and the timeline panel that pops up, you're not even seeing that on the screen. So sorry about that. Yeah, this is really frustrating. So Daz is trying to like puke on me, as I call it. You can't see that I've loaded the timeline and I've created a keyframe. I'm going to animate her down onto the ground so that the dress will have a chance to deforce out. And it's just, yeah, it almost crashed on me. So now I'm moving to frame number 30 and I'm putting another keyframe, but first I'm going to put her where I want her. And that involves using a custom pose from a new product that's not yet available. But you'll see in a second here. Hopefully this will be something. Observe. Okay, so it's going to be this one, and I even used the good and evil dress in the thumbnail. So don't worry so much about the prop at this time. I'm just trying to get her in position right now for deforce reasons. And we'll add the complexity of the prop and the little figures inside of the prop momentarily. And I need to save this file too, because there's gonna be some work required here. Okay, so let's wait to apply this pose. I'm trying to read it. I have a lot of things installed on my Daz Studio, and I'm considering starting another machine with just a clean install with just Genesis 8 male and female in the dev versions to do development like this, because boy, it does slow things down. But then again, I couldn't make the fancy thumbnails that I like to make, so it's a bit of a sacrifice. Okay, so now she's in place, and I want to add that next keyframe, which I just did. You're not seeing it again, but it's been added, and as soon as the machine catches up, I'm going to just like animate the timeline for us so we can see what's happening here. Still trying to work. Gosh, it's so slow. The more morphs and whatnot that are in a figure when you're trying to run a simulation, all this contributes to using up your RAM, and it can really slow the process down, unfortunately. I think that's what we're seeing right here. It looks to all the world like I'm just kind of sitting there with nothing happening, but that is indeed not the case. Just so you know, I'm sitting here waiting along with you guys, but there's a little bar. Okay, there, it just took it, so that's cool. So now we can kind of like see that we're running. That's how we're going to run the sim, and hopefully it will not go through the floor, which is indicated there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, before I load anything else, because now we can lock these simulations off once we run them. I'm going to go to simulations, which you can move this for. Simulation settings. I'm going to not start from memorized. I'm going to go start animate using current timeline play range. And I'm going to try to make an angle here where you can sort of see what's happening. And then we'll just simulate. Okay, so pardon me. All right, so timeline's all good right now. All right, so now I'm just going to kill that plane, which is what we deforced against, and you can see. There we go. You can see that it's representing the floor, even though the heels went through the floor. You won't really see them on this the way I'm going to render it. So now we could lock the dress. Under the general tab, usually there's a simulation, free simulation. The wings are not, yeah, they are kind of intersecting, so we can't show that, or we gotta move them. All right, so next step would be adding the prop to her. So the way I did this was as an H pose. So we just grab the box, put it on her hip, select her, go back to poses, go back to the desired pose. Now we got to remember that we're at the end of the simulation, so our timeline has to be on frame 30. And then if we do this, it should place the box where it's supposed to be, with the lid on the floor and the box and the contents of the box in her hands. And I believe that will work. If Daz will simply catch up. And then I'm going to save this file, because I should have saved it before I tried this. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling like there's going to be like a loss of data here if I don't soon save the file. Okay, thank the Lord that worked. Alright, so now I'm going to save this as actually needs to go in, we'll just call it scenes here. And we'll call it Evil Queen. There we go. Evil Queen with box. Okay, so now the next part is slightly less tricky, but we're going to put little figures inside of here, which I've already set it up with this pose. And I believe this pose is designed to hold 4 Genesis 8 male figures. But the tricky part is, if we go ahead and, oh shit, I just noticed that her thumb goes through that. I wonder if that's because of the gloves. Let me turn the gloves off. Ah, it is the gloves. Thank goodness I don't have to rebuild that pose. Without the gloves, it doesn't go through. Okay. Anyway, so how do we accomplish this? Well, I've already built out a couple of Egyptian guard type characters, and they would be appropriate. So I'm going to just throw in 4 of these. Conversion to scene. I'm actually curious if I attach him to her hip and then duplicate him and his clothes on her hip, would they all be pre-parented to the hip? We're going to experiment here. So there we go, Mr. Genesis 8 male. The cool thing about H pose is it also handles the scaling for you. Alright, so we're going to go duplicate node hierarchies. We're going to do it 2 more times. Hopefully not crash this sucker. Duplicate node hierarchies. 1 more after this. One more time. Duplicate node hierarchies. Yes, it did duplicate them all on her hip, which is great. They need to be on her hip. Now, I should be able to simply select her, or actually for that matter, it's an H pose, so I could select any figure in the scene, or the prop, and it should apply. But we're gonna try this, and it should size those guys and place them in the box. If it doesn't, I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to have to rework this pose. I'm actually in the process of submitting this product, so that would suck to have to rework it, but stuff happens. Of the 10 poses that come with this set for Genesis 8 female, that is by far the most time-consuming one. So let's hope that it works, my friends. And we're going to give it some time to work. Hey, what do you know? It worked just as planned. Now, that means we need to put her in some sort of a castle setting. Now, really, we could just keep it super simple and put a floor down, which I might do, and then that way I can kind of go with like a brighter. Let's get a little bit of a preview here for kind of what she's going to look like. If we don't crash here. Too much memory. If I lose the stream, I'll just kind of come back with a part 2. Dang, that actually looks pretty freaking good with nothing behind it. Let's see what we got for stonework. Stone Masonry Street shaders. You know what we could do is we could just turn this back on. Grab this. Alright, first off we gotta expand it. Scale 500, boom. And then grab it, just give it something like and then we need to tile that, of course. Tile something like 6 and 6. Way more than that. Let's tile it like 15. 15. Oh shit. Big. Do we have a utility thing here? No, we don't. So let's go with 25. 25. Get in the ballpark. 40. 40. Now let's see what that looks like with the light like it is. I see a little bit of poke through here, so I'm just going to lift her up ever so slightly. And I'm almost ready to redo this, I think. Okay, that's good enough. And we'll call this Evil Queen. There we go. Let's talk a little bit about render times, guys. So for me, I've discovered that like a pretty beefy machine with a liquid-cooled video card and designed for really a VR gaming system. So it's a pretty quick renderer, and I've discovered that the sweet time for me is I can get an image just about as good as it's going to look in 13 minutes. So if I give it 13 minutes of render time, I know I'm going to meet that like usable level, particularly if I render it at 4K, size it down to 2K. So just a little tip for you. I'm actually kind of doing a little bit of shopping over here on Daz3D.com. That's strange. What is strange, you say? Well, I just tried to check out with PayPal and I got a weird kickback here. Okay, let's try that again. Shopping, shopping, shopping. Okay. There we go. Sorry guys, I know you're not seeing this. I'm just checking out my cart at Daz so I can brag on what I bought today. Okay, so it looks like our render is almost done. And even at 13 minutes, I'm at 10 minutes right now, it's saying 97%. So in that case, I'm probably, you see my render settings right there, I'm probably just going to let it render on out and finish up instead of stopping it short at 13 minutes. And then we'll upload this one, and then we'll move on to the next little whatever I'm going to do. Okay. Getting very close now. I hate that you guys can't see the pop-up windows, but it's showing render target was written at 99% at 12 minutes and 50 seconds. That's obviously how I arrived at the 13 minutes. So we're almost there, guys. Okay. All right, render complete. Let's see how it turned out. Let's switch over to Photoshop and open it up here. Now that doesn't look too bad. Oh crap, I can see a problem. I'm gonna have to change. So Daz, when you're saving your H poses, you're not allowed to leave expression information in there, which I clearly did here. But the good news is I don't have to resave the pose. I can actually edit the pose. In fact, that might be something cool for me to show you guys how to do. So let's do that. Let's go in here. We'll just browse to the file location. It is pose number 4. Open the notepad. Switch back to desktop so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so alright. So I'm gonna do. There's a plugin that I know I have installed, and I know that this morph is going to come up next to the expression morph. Enhance. I misspelled that. Enhancer. Find. Okay. So I know that anything that is on base post head needs to be deleted. This is true of Genesis 8 female and all 4 of the Genesis 8 males. So I'm just gonna like hold Shift select, and I'm kind of watching. You probably can't see my mouse cursor, but at the top of the screen, as it comes into view, I'm kind of watching base pose head with the 20% there on both sides of it. And as soon as that changes to something else, I know that I'm getting to the area where I need to stop my selection. I recently discovered this, and boy does it make editing H poses, hierarchical poses, easier. Because you don't have to worry about so many. There's a bug. There's actually a bug or either a lack of functionality in Daz Studio that when you save H poses, there's no way to really truly unselect the. Okay, this is ridiculous. There's people talking on this. There we go. There's no real way to stop the selection of. Okay, so there we went too far. Here we go. Now, this is what I need to basically delete. So I'm going to do that. So I deleted that. That's correct. All right, now I'm going to go Genesis 8 male. I've got to find the right spot here. Genesis 8 male. Actually, you can do a search for head. Find next. I think it's like 20 base. Let's see what that gives us. No, doggone it. Okay. Just have to get to the right spot here. This can be a little bit annoying. You know what I can do? I've already removed yours. I'm going to save that. Let me just save that. Then I'll reopen it, and at least that part is done. Open with Notepad. Yeah. A little bit slow to open up. It's a big file. So I'm seeing these morphs for the face rig, and the face expression stuff is below that. So I know I'm in the ballpark. This is male. Tedium. But the good news is it'll be the same edit for all 4 of those Genesis 8 males. And then I'll never have to resave the pose again, so that saves a lot of time. I mean, as far as inside Daz Studio. Okay. I'm really just looking for a needle in a haystack here. I'm going to make note though on this one, something that I can search to find it on the other 2. All right. I should have copied that head base pose. Head 20% head, whatever. All right, let's do a search for base, and we'll go up from here, and that should put us on it. Come on, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Okay, next. Oh, I'm getting upset. You know what? I know how to get to it. Let's try this again. Actually, really got to go to the bathroom right now. So it's distracting me. Okay. All right. face enhancer. See, I actually deleted what I needed on this. It's so stupid. Alright, whoa. Here we go. This was the magic right there. That I'm going to copy, put into another notepad, so when I need to find that, you know what, that's really freaking stupid, Brent. Alright. Let's see here. Let's go back to music for a second. I gotta do some stuff here. Working session. There we go. Okay, sorry. That annoyed the crap out of me. So, did not have face enhancer installed for the Genesis 8 mail. That was what was throwing me. So anyway, it's this right here. This is what I'd be copying to look for on both of the, all four of the Genesis that I need to delete. So this is going to be the area that I need to find on all of them. And then I just need to select all of these. Okay. So you can kind of see when the little entry there changes. So that's what I'm deleting right there. So I'm deleting all that. And that's only the base pose. You're not allowed to save that information because they don't want it to write a text. Even though that's on some things like this, it would be convenient to keep it. But anyway, so I'm pasting in that. And now, see, it takes me to the next figure that has that. And in this case, I'm going to do a selection downward from that parameter till we run out of base pose. Ooh, so we didn't have many here. I'm not quite sure why. But anyway, we can delete that safely. Base pose again, same situation. It's base pose head actually is what we're looking for there. So go down here. I think this is going to be another big selection. This will bend your mind staring at this for a while. Oh, okay, but you can figure out there may be a more elegant way than what I'm doing right here. So I apologize if there is, but this is how I do it, and it does save time when it comes to making these poses, you know, sellable on DAS, because otherwise you're just constantly resaving them, and there's just tons of stuff to check. Okay. You can also screw up your pose files very easily editing in text editor, so make sure you know what you're doing before you take that leap. I find the easiest thing is just to stare at the first line at the bottom as it goes from white to blue being selected, and you keep your eye on the BA, and when that changes, you can pretty easily check it, but you can pretty easily perceive it. Just it does give you a bit of a headache. Okay, we're getting into short rows now, folks. We save this. So I'm just, again, taking out all the expression information for the males in the scene. And a lot of this other stuff wouldn't matter, like tune generations, whatever. It's value of 0, but we don't want it in there. But it doesn't matter. If I were to get a couple of those, it wouldn't change the body poses at all. But in this case, I'm just trying to take, and another, not for nothing, but if I didn't have those cartoon morphs installed in the first place, it wouldn't be included in the DUF file. So that's one of the things that, back to my idea of just installing just the dev version of Genesis 8, male and female on another machine to do my pose work. Okay. We should be getting down to the last figure right now, hopefully. It's almost impossible not to overshoot it by a little bit. Okay, find next. Okay, this has got to be it. I'm going to start installing some products I just bought, and wow, that was the short one. I overshot that by a mile or two. Okay, so there's actually just a couple of those. Okay, base pose. There we go. All right, we did it. Yay. Okay. So that's done. I had to do that work anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up another camera angle, and I want to render a tight shot of these guys, and I want it to be square. Actually, you know what? Let's do a 16:9. I got an idea for how to use this in the composition. 16:9. Let's just pull that into this. Whatever this is happening right here. Gloves. I just have to know what is. Gosh, I don't want to make 2 renders for that. That sucks. I mean, I'll make one with and without the gloves, I guess. I'll eat without, well, with gloves. With gloves. Okay. And we'll just do the exact same. I don't know why I made it. Let's always go at least 4K. Okay. So we're just going to let that render. I'll kick on some music for you folks. Fine people. I'll be right back. Hmm.
If you talk all the time, you'll never hear what anybody else has to say. And therefore all you'll have to talk about is your own conversation. The same is true for people who think all the time. That means, when I use the word think, talking to yourself, subvocal conversation, the constant chit-chat of symbols and images and talk and words inside your skull. Now, if you do that all the time, you'll find that you've nothing to think about except thinking. And just as you have to stop talking to hear what others have to say, you have to stop thinking to find out what life is about. And the moment you stop thinking, you become into immediate contact with the unspeakable world. The force of liberation will blow the world to pieces.
Okay, so we have got ourselves 15 minutes on this render. Let's see how it looks. So as soon as that finishes, just pop over to Photoshop. Looking at a render I did yesterday, this really cool new Weird Angel character at Daz. Pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. Okay, so that's what we just rendered. Hey, not bad. So yeah, now this is something I'm inclined to do some sort of shenaniganery with, perhaps. Custom, not bad. I got to get my my raw camera filters set back up. Something's happened with an update here, and I'm not seeing a bunch of them. And that's a quick way to kind of throw your image into a cool little style. I'm not going to go that far with this. This is just a kind of for fun. I think there is a vignette feature here that I would love to employ. Vignette, 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 effects. It should be under that. Vignetting into the negative. There we go. Image size 2K. Now we're going to save it as Guardian. Sorry about that in the background. That's my lunch, which is a kind of a pre-made little egg thing. I don't even know what you call it. It's like a kind of egg as the bread, but like egg and sausage. Bacon or hot in it. By the way, just went back and revisited a little comic that I did for a character from one of our film series, sort of like YouTube movie review kind of series. Got really into the cartoon shapes for a second. I got my little joke about that really racist show, MTV Decoded. If you make me watch MTV Decoded, I swear I'll drown myself in a toilet. Hey, to me that's funny. Unionville Lane. The thing about racism, guys, it's racism no matter who it is doing the discriminating. Just remember that. So Muticia gets what Muticia wants, etc., etc. Now in the film, this is a little puppet, but I did not at that time have a character that was like it. Although now there's the Felton or Milton. Milton or Felton or one of those. It's a G8 character that looks very much like the puppet in our live action. Which, by the way, if you search for Muticia's movie morgue, on YouTube, you will find the series of 3 shows. If you're interested in what the live action actors look like, that would be the place to go. Anywho, back to this. Looks like we're there. Submit now. Just make a little edit to show it in full. 2000 by 2500 pixel glory. Click on that. Get to the actual image itself. Copy the path to the image. Go back over here and let's see what did we use. We used wildflowers, tall weeds, and seeds. I think I'm going to do a more serious entry. I just sort of threw this one together. Title, Guardian, like the least freaking thought out title. I'll put used, just going to copy that. Hot link. I feel better about myself when I actually make contest entries with all the stuff that I buy, because I spend way too much money on this. I'm a fairly successful PA, and I spend almost all the money that I earn, not all of it, but almost all, on this stuff. And when I go for a period and I get caught up in making content, and this happens pretty often, worried about that next sale, or trying to find the PA schedule and stuff, and make sure that I've got something that's potential buyout material, or at least something I can sell for a given theme. Then I find myself not rendering apart from rendering, promotional. What in the world is that? That is super strange. Is that a byproduct of the? Nope, it's rendered that way. It's like a little moat or something. That is super weird. Right now I'm not sweating it though. Got my entry in, so the money that I paid for this was not completely in vain. I might go back and redo that and look for that artifact later, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and save this. And yeah, we've been streaming here for a couple hours, and I think it's about time for a meal break. I may come back and do some more if our good buddy Reginator joins us, so we have some stuff to talk about, and hopefully I'll be able to pop back on and we'll carry on with the day in the life with Greybro A.K.A. Disciple 3D. Don't know how you got here or what made you watch this, but hopefully you found it either entertaining or informative, and see you in the next addition to the series, guys. Time to go maybe binge on a little bit of The Boys on Amazon Prime.